What happens when everyone dies? When you think about it, there are only two ways this could happen. Either it's sudden and everyone dies at the same time, or it's slow and we have time to prepare. We've got the second option right now. A global pandemic is killing hundreds of thousands of people every day. But eventually it will end, and when it does, what happens then? We won't know how lucky we are. To be honest, any of the scenarios we discuss here could happen with enough bad luck. But even if it is gradual, it's still worth knowing what will happen to the world around us. So let's get started. First, let's look at the sudden scenario. No war, no plague, no warning. Just gone. Every human being on the planet disappears instantly. The birds fly away. A full-grown lion takes off into the sky. A rabbit leaps over a log. Fish fly out of the water. A dog catches a plane mid-flight. Every living thing on the planet with a heartbeat or a nervous system experiences a moment of panic. Then they settle down. Now the world can start to change. Day 1. Planes fall from the sky. Cars drift into intersections. Skyscrapers creak but remain upright. Nothing moves unless it was already moving before the great vanishing. Soon the fires in the fireplaces die out and the last embers fade to gray. On the streets below, the unpaved road gives way to weeds, which soon grow tall enough to hide a man. In the deep freeze of Siberia and the burning desert of Death Valley, the first snowflakes fall and the first raindrops hit the ground. Throughout the cities of the world, the subways keep running, transporting nobody to nowhere. They loop through empty stations like ghosts of mass transit past. Steam rises from the grates on the sidewalk, but nobody is there to smell it. Day 10. Power plants shut down. Reactors overheat. Nuclear cores melt. Electricity goes out. The lights go out in Tokyo and turn off in Toronto, plunging millions into darkness they won't see for the rest of their lives. Without anyone to tend to them, every computer in the world shuts down, falling silent. For the first time in decades, night returns to places that have never seen it. Neon signs wink out one by one until every city block is plunged into darkness. Street lamps flicker and die. On the largest screens in New York City, the words "We re sorry" flash endlessly as servers try and connect to a network that no longer exists. 1 month, nature starts to take back the world. Overgrown vines wind around the legs of a forgotten statue in Times Square. A family of rabbits hops up to watch the garish orange glow of the Reuters building sign. A lone fox trots across the Brooklyn Bridge, tail high. Birds roost in the empty nest of a skyscraper. An eagle swoops low, snatching a fish from the polluted waters of the Hudson River. Lions pace in the long grass of the Serengeti, their prey gone. There is nothing to stop them from wandering into the roads and highways built by human hands and walking straight through them, pawing at the tarmac. With the fires of man extinguished, the forests breathe a sigh of relief. All across the world, trees begin to grow taller, pushing their branches towards the sun, reaching up to claim the skies. No longer afraid of being burned or chopped down, nature is free to flourish in all its glory. Rivers run clearer, filling the seas with life. The air grows clean. 1 year, our pets either adapt or perish. In the small town of Ocala, Florida, a pack of dogs fights over the corpse of a deer. Their leader is a Doberman Pinscher. Once pampered and cherished by humans, now they are scavengers. Half-starved huskies pull an old woman on her sled. Her heart has given out. She freezes solid, her body mummified, wrapped in layers of fur and snow. One by one, the world's nuclear plants begin to leak. Radiation blooms like flowers in the heart of Chernobyl. Giant sunflowers turn towards the light of the abandoned reactor. Farther north, beneath the frozen wastelands of northern Russia, radioactive water seeps into the soil, poisoning the earth. The sea ice melts, releasing deadly viruses and bacteria into the ocean. There they spread, killing off most marine life and making some creatures bigger than they should be. 100 years, buildings collapse. Glass turns to sand, shopping malls become jungles. Skyscrapers crumble. The rain, which has been eroding the concrete and steel of our great cities for years, finally triumphs. A streetcar hangs off the side of a broken bridge. The Ferris wheel creaks in the wind, swinging slowly from side to side. Will it break free and crash to the ground? We'll never know. In the skies above, the last satellite falls from orbit like a dying star. It streaks across the blackness of the night sky, leaving behind a cold trail of ice. It burns up in the atmosphere, leaving behind nothing but twisted metal. 10,000 years, only stone remains. Rusty girders stick out of the ground like broken bones. Our once magnificent steel buildings are gone, replaced by weeds and trees. The great monuments to humanity's hubris are gone. Even granite and marble have withered away to dust. Our bones fade. Deep underground, in the tombs and crypts, the dead are released. The mummies of Egypt sit up and walk among us. Skeletons climb out of their graves, picking themselves clean of flesh. They march through the streets of the dead cities, rattling their bones like castanets. Our species may be gone, but other life forms move in to take over. Animals scavenge what remains of our technology, making dens out of our discarded clothes and toys. They use our tools to hunt and kill. They learn to fly our planes, riding the thermals in the sky. Big game hunts humans as prey, catching them in packs, tearing their flesh with sharp teeth and claws. But the planet, it heals, oceans clear, the skies go blue. Forests stretch across the forgotten highways. Farmland reverts to wilderness, grass grows over the cracked tarmac. In less than a blink of an eye, Earth forgets we were ever here. But what if we had more time to prepare? Here on our channel, we spend a lot of time discussing what would happen if society collapsed. Whether it's nuclear winter or plagues of biblical proportions, we talk about a lot of doom and gloom stuff. But honestly, it's not all that bad. In fact, there are a few things to look forward to. Here are 5 things you'll love about the apocalypse. No. 1. Lower taxes. If you don't believe us, check out the Tax Foundation's analysis of how a gridlock government would affect tax rates. Hint, they would plummet. No. 2. More wildlife. Let's face it, most of the animals we see these days are feral cats and dogs. When the power grids go down, however, expect to see much more interesting animals roam the land. No. 3. Cleaner air. We don't mean during the initial nuclear fallout, obviously. We mean in the centuries after society has collapsed and we've all turned into dust. You might want to pack your oxygen mask though, because it will be hard to breathe after those pesky nuclear bombs have detonated. Number 4. No more rush hour. Say goodbye to the morning commute and hello to driving whenever you want. Sure, the oil companies will probably stop refining oil, so you won't have anything to put in your car. But hey, who needs gas when you've got horse manure? No. 5. The opportunity to start over. Ask yourself, did you really like where you were heading? How about reinvent yourself after the apocalypse? You could move to a new country, take up farming, or maybe live off the grid. The possibilities are endless. Of course, you probably won't make it to the good parts, but hey, who's counting?